So good evening everyone. From today we are going to be regular with these all the lectures of JEE Advanced. Okay. So हम start करते हैं और आज है अभी relative velocity of image with respect to object and mirror part 2. Got it or not? Okay. So ये तुम्हारे पास second question है. Okay. Means first question हमने previous lecture 5 में deal किया हुआ है. ठीक है. And this is second question based upon similar concept. Now, here what the question is saying that a plane mirror is moving with the speed of 10 meter per second. Means the velocity of mirror is given 10 meter per second towards an object which is at rest as shown in the figure. Okay, means this particular object is at rest over here. Got it or not? Okay. Now, what is the question? Find the velocity of the image formed. Okay. So you have to calculate velocity of image, just velocity of image. Got it or not? Okay. So you have to think. Can you think first? Gagan, Anuj, try to think this fast. This question is very much important. Okay. So okay. First important thing, like Gagan, should I solve or you will solve? Anuj?
Yes, sir. Sir, you only solve, sir.
Okay. So first important concept of this kind of problems. First, when you get these kind of problems, is most important thing is when object is given, mirror is given, you are not aware that where the image is formed. पहले तुम्हें नहीं पता है कि इमेज कहाँ पे फॉर्म हुआ है. तो सबसे पहले हमें ये बताना है कि इमेज कहाँ पे ड्रॉ होगा. ठीक है. अगर तुम्हें ड्रॉ करना है इमेज, तुम कुछ नहीं करो, बस इस ऑब्जेक्ट से एक स्ट्रेट लाइन लो, इस तरह का स्ट्रेट लाइन लो जो कि मिरर के प्लेन के ऊपर परपेंडिकुलर होगा. मींस यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट सच अ काइंड ऑफ लाइन, ओके, which should be perpendicular to the plane of mirror. Try to understand, this line is making 90 degree with the surface of the mirror. Yes or no? Look over here, this line is perfectly making 90 degree over here. Got it or not? So if it makes 90 degree and let's suppose this distance is like this whole distance from here to here, let's suppose this is distance d. At the similar angle, since this will be also 90, this will be also 90, at the similar distance of d over here, you take your image position. So here one image will be created. Got it or not? How to draw the image? First, whatever mirror it is, draw normal to that particular mirror. At one end of that normal, object will be there. At one another end of the normal with the equal length, image will be formed. Got it or not, Gagan? Yes or no? Anuj, understood or not? Tell me where the image will be formed. Understood now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here, my image will be formed. Okay. Now, try to understand. Let's suppose this mirror is moving. Mirror has some kind of a velocity even over here, 10 meter per second. I told object is at rest. Now, this angle is 60 degree. So, try to understand if mirror is going to move, although the object is at rest, what is going to happen? Image is going to definitely move over here. What is going to happen with the image? Image is going to move with some kind of velocity. Got it or not? Okay. So, let's suppose I'm calling, like I'll try to understand, means what should be the velocity of image or something like that. Okay. So if someone asks you that how to find the velocity of image over here, so that is a most interesting question. Now, how to deal with that? We know, try to understand that this particular angle, the angle made by the mirror with the object length, try to understand, this is the object length. Means ये जो line है, मतलब ऑब्जेक्ट से मिरर के बीच में जो एंगल दी गई है 60 डिग्री दी गई है, 60 डिग्री दी गई है. तो मैं मान सकता हूं कि जो इंसिडेंट, लेट्स सपोज इफ आई ड्रॉ वन अनदर नॉर्मल ओवर हियर. ओके, सो सेट undo. So let's suppose if I draw one normal over here again, so what will be your incident angle? Incident angle will be 30 degree or not? Tell me yes or no. Gagan, yes or no? Anuj, yes or no? Second point, with this incident angle there will be another reflected, right? Let's suppose if I draw the reflected light, that reflected light will be also, I'll draw in such a way, I'll draw in such a way so that it should combine over here. Okay, so this angle is also how much? 30 degree over here. Anuj, understood or not? Gagan, yes or no? Guys,
Yes, sir.
Gagan,
Yes, sir.
understood or not? Tell me. Means what I'm trying to do, like, see, I got only 160 degree over here, and I know that this is my image that will be formed over here. Here is my object, but I do not know where should be the velocity of image. So I took what is given in the question. So let's suppose this object is making 60 degree along this side. If the mirror is moving towards this side, I considered that my velocity of image is along this path. Okay, means this is the some kind of velocity of image, velocity of object with respect to mirror. Okay, means the given angle which is given over here, on that path only I consider the velocity of object. So if the velocity of object is along this path, where should be the velocity of image actually? So to find about that, what we considered, let's suppose the incident angle from the object to this end of the mirror is at 30 degree. It is getting reflected back at 30 degree. When we stretch that reflected light backwards, it is going to, what we are going to observe, that it is meeting the image at this kind of point. Okay, now if it is meeting the image, that means what? Velocity of image will be along that particular line, reflected light, right? Yes or no? Velocity of image is along this particular line. This is the velocity of image with respect to mirror. Understood? See, two cases are here. First try to understand. I was given the mirror, ऑब्जेक्ट मींस मेरे को मिरर दिया गया था, मिरर की वेलोसिटी प्रोवाइड की गई थी, ऑब्जेक्ट दिया हुआ था, इमेज के बारे में पता करना था। सबसे पहले यहाँ पे पूछा है कि वेलोसिटी ऑफ इमेज कैसे निकालोगे, तो सबसे पहले मैं क्या करूंगा, वेलोसिटी जब मिरर मूव करने लगता है तो हमारे पास सबसे पहले ये पता रहना चाहिए कि वेलोसिटी ऑफ इमेज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू मिरर कितना है और वेलोसिटी ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू मिरर कितना है। हमें ये दिया गया कि जो ऑब्जेक्ट है मिरर के एक एंड के साथ 60 डिग्री बनाता है, तो सबसे पहले हमें ये फाइंड करना पड़ेगा कि जो इमेज है वो इस एंड के साथ अगर मान लो कितना डिग्री बनाता है। ठीक है, जब हम ये पता कर लेंगे तो ये अनदर पॉइंट हमें मालूम चल जाएगा कि व्हाट इज द वेलोसिटी ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट अलोंग दिस पर्टिकुलर पाथ। जब ये हमें मालूम है तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, वेलोसिटी ऑफ इमेज अलोंग दैट पर्टिकुलर पाथ हम फाइंड आउट कर लेंगे और आंसर कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, तो 3 स्टेप का प्रोसेस है यहाँ पे। देखो ये जेई एडवांस का क्वेश्चन है, 3 स्टेप्स यहाँ पे लग रहे हैं। फर्स्ट यू नीड टू सेलेक्ट व्हाट, सेलेक्ट द एंगल at which image is formed, at which image is formed. Got it or not? Okay, so first step was to select the angle at which image is formed. So image is formed along the normal of the object which will pass through the perpendiculars of the mirror. Okay, second, this was first. Okay, second step is what you have to apply, then you have to select that what should be the velocity of object. So I considered on the given, on the line of given angle, on the line of given angle between object or image with mirror, select the original velocity, select the original velocity. So 2 step always you have to do in this kind of problem. First, select the angle at which image is formed. Second, you have to consider on the line on which this particular object is kept, like the angle which is given for this object or for the image, on that particular line consider the velocity of image with respect to mirror and velocity of object with respect to mirror. Is I'm clear or not? Tell me, these two processes are clear or not? Gagan, Anush, yes or no? Understood or not? Tell me, Gagan,
Yes,
Anush.
sir.
Okay, now
Yes,
you
sir.
have got this particular thing. Now try to understand. This is 30, this is 30. This angle will be also 60. If this is 60, this means what? This vertically opposite angle will be also 60 degree. Got it or not? So if this is 60, this is 60. Try to understand. This is 90. So this angle will be how much? 30 degree. Yes or no? Yes or no? This will be 90. This is 60. This
Yes.
is 30 degree. If it is 30 degree, that implies what? That this angle will be also a 30 degree because this is acting like a normal. Yes or no? This angle is 30. This angle is 30. I can make one right angle triangle over here and I join it over here to the mirror's plane. Okay. Now I'll have two component of velocity and velocity of image. One is down component denoted by this blue line. Okay, and one along the horizontal component. Got it? This particular arrow here, it represents velocity of image with respect to mirror. Here it will be, so this angle becomes total 60 degree. So here it is v of image with respect to mirror cos 60, and here it is velocity of image with respect to mirror sin 60. Got it or not? Yes or no? Anuj, Gagan, yes or no? Understood now? Hello.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you are perfectly able to write these, now you can write over here. So what will be the equation of velocity of image with respect to mirror? It is equal to how much? It is equal to velocity of image with respect to mirror into cos 60 degree I cap plus velocity of image with respect to mirror sin 60 minus of j cap. This is the velocity of image with respect to mirror equation. Understood or not? Tell me. Now, what should be the velocity of image with respect to mirror? Can anyone tell me? Try to understand. Can anyone tell me, guys? Gagan, Anuj, can you tell me what should be the answer based upon this now? What is the relation? Okay, first important point. What I gave as a relation, velocity of image with respect to mirror is equal to, what was that relation, is equal to minus of velocity of object with respect to mirror or not? Tell me yes or no. This is the first equation or not? Now try to understand. Velocity of image with respect to mirror is equal to what? Negative value of, try to understand, mirror is moving towards this direction or not? So velocity of object minus velocity of mirror, try to understand, minus velocity of object is how much? 0, because the object is kept at rest, and velocity of image is how much? It is equal to minus, mirror is how much? Minus 10. So answer becomes velocity of image with respect to mirror is how much, guys? 10 meter per second. Understood or not, Gagan? Yes or no? Knows, yes or no? Understood?
Yes, sir.
So here, what will be the equation of velocity of image with respect to mirror? 10 cos 60 is how much? 1 by 2. Cos 60 sin 30, that is 1 by 2 I cap minus 10 sin 60, that is root 3 by 2 j cap. So answer becomes how much, guys? 5 I cap minus 5 root 3 j cap. This is the velocity of image with respect to mirror. But it is actually asking what is the velocity of image. So that answer will be how much? That answer is nothing but, try to understand. Wait. Stylus. I'll decrease the size a little bit. But that it is nothing but, what will be the relation over here? That velocity of image with respect to mirror is equal to velocity of image minus velocity of mirror. So velocity of image becomes how much, guys? Velocity of image with respect to mirror you have calculated 5 pi cap minus 5 root 3 j cap. What is velocity of mirror? It is equal to 10 I cap. So minus it will become plus over here. So 10 I cap. So therefore this velocity of image is nothing but, what should be the answer? Simple yes or no? It is nothing but 15 I cap minus 5 root 3 j cap. Got it or not? Knows Gagan?
Plus a negative.
Uh, it will be plus. Yeah, no, it will be negative sign now. Why? Because try to understand, image is going down, means this V of I am sine 60 degree, it is representing towards downward axis. Okay, so that is why I'm considering minus of j cap. Got it or not? Okay.
10 I.
It will be, it will be plus now. Why? Because mirror, this velocity of mirror, if it goes on the right left hand side, it will become positive over here. ये प्लस में चेंज हो जाएगा ना, v ऑफ m इसको मैं इधर लेकर आऊंगा ना, तो ये प्लस में चेंज हो गया, और मिरर इधर राइट साइड में मूव कर रहा है, सो इट विल बी 10 I cap, so it will be plus 10 I cap. Got it or not? Okay.
Sir, then answer is 10 root 3.
Answer is, of course, it will be like, if you calculate the magnitude of velocity, it will be 15 square plus 5 root 3 whole square. So that is how much? 10 root 3. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Is I'm audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Uh,
Audible.
uh, Actually, this is the problem. Actually, I have to buy this UPS, right or not? That one modem, 1600 rupees UPS comes, which will help in live streaming in a proper way. Okay. Uh, yes. Okay. Let us see whether this this live streaming is going on or not. Okay, it's been cancelled. Mm, okay. Okay, 1 minute. Mm, just 1 minute. Okay, leave it. It's recording now. I'll put the recorded video over there. Okay. So now look over here. Okay. So here we have got the velocity of image as 15 I cap minus 5 root 3 j cap, and based upon this we have calculated the velocity of image. Got it or not? Yes or no? Understood or not? Tell me. First important thing. Gagan, Anus, yes or no? Any kind of
Yes,
doubt
sir.
till now?
Yes, sir.
No, now. Anus, no problem. Can I increase the
No,
level?
sir.
Can I increase? Similar kind of problem, but the level will be increased. Okay. So again, let us move to third J advanced problem. Oh, third problem. Similar kind of problem, but here the object is also moving, mirror is also moving. You have to think about the image. Think it fast. Do it fast. Think about this question fast. Okay. Uh, the way you will solve it is very easy, but there are concept. Okay. So I'm solving it. Do not solve it because I think it will take more than 15 to 20 minutes just to understand about this problem.
Sir,
Huh. Tell me, Gagan.
sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, in this type of problem, sir, right now you are sharing the screen right now, sir. This type
Huh.
of problem, sir.
Uh-huh.
Sir, can we solve this problem like let us bringing the mirror into the rest form, like adding another 5 meter per second velocity to the object in the direction of mirror?
Uh, but that will only give one component answer. What about another component?
Sir,
Got it?
one component means?
Means it will give in the horizontal way. What about the vertical way? Here it is not perfectly along the mirror direction. Means it is not perfectly horizontal. Here the object
Ah,
will.
yes, sir. Sir,
Uh,
sir, the what I'm telling right now, sir, that
hmm.
5 meter per second is there, right, sir? That is making angle 30 degree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sir, if we add another 5 meter per second,
Cos
directly
theta.
backwards to that
Uh,
5 meter per second.
yes, yes, that is only I'm going to do. But you have to consider 5 meter per second cos 30 to be added along the horizontal component of object. And
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
right?
If we even add for the object, then it will become like same, right,
Sure,
sir?
sure. Definitely that way is correct. So here means you are actually
Yes,
doing
sir.
the same thing. Means first concept is if let's suppose if velocities are parallel to the surface, okay, they remain in they remain in unchanged. Yes or no? Like if the velocities are parallel to the surface, means if the velocities are parallel to the surface of the mirror, like they will remain unchanged. Means we didn't have to do any kind of calculation. But if the velocities are perpendicular to the surface, then you have one formula that velocity of image with respect to the mirror perpendicular should be equal to minus of velocity of object with respect to the mirror perpendicular. This is the relation, and that's what I'm going to utilize over here. So try to understand this. Velocity of mirror will have two components, one along the surface, that is 5 cos 30.
Sir,
Sorry, tell me, Gagan.
sir,
Uh,
sir, answer is 5 root 5, sir.
Answer is 5 root 5. Uh, I think little bit correct, but let us see. Let us see what should be the answer. Okay, so 5 sin 30, and here it will be what? 5 cos of 30. Okay, perpendicular to the surface. So mirror has two components, one along the surface, one perpendicular to the surface. Second thing is along this side, object has the velocity of object. So that is 10 meter, 10 cos 60, and this is, sorry, 10 sin 60. Right or not? Okay. Now this is the velocity which is perpendicular object, perpendicular. So velocity of object with respect to mirror, and that is perpendicular. This is velocity of object with respect to mirror, parallel to the surface. Similarly, here the mirror velocities are mentioned. Okay. So similarly, based upon these two concepts, like first I will do for parallel calculation. Okay. So for parallel case, what will happen? We know that velocity of image with respect to the mirror, that is parallel, should be actually equal to velocity of object with respect to the mirror, parallel. Got it or not? Yes or this is the condition or not? Tell me. Gagan, Anuj, yes or no? Now we know that
Yes,
velocity
sir.
of image with respect to parallel means what? Velocity of image minus velocity of mirror, the parallel components, and here velocity of object minus velocity of mirror, the parallel component. Got it or not? Okay. So velocity of image becomes how much? Velocity of object parallel is how much? 10 sin 60. 10 sin 60 means what? 10 root 3 by 2 I cap. After that, minus twice of Vm parallel. What is Vm parallel? That is 5 sin 30 minus 5 by 2. Sorry, 5 by 2 into 2 J cap. Got it or not? Why? See, try to understand. Two VMs are there, na? Two VM parallel it will be. So, okay. Wait. It will be cancelled now. Means VM parallel should be cancelled. Yes or no, Gagan? This is minus. This will become positive. Okay, no problem with that. Yes. So this and this got cancelled over here. So actually, VI parallel. If someone asks you that what is the VI parallel component, it is nothing but 10 root 3 by 2 I cap, which is equal to 5 root 3 I cap. Got it or not? Yes or no? Anuj, Gagan, yes or no? Tell me.
Sir,
Tell me, Gagan.
sir, but you have taken. Right, sir, right, sir, right, sir.
Right now. Anuj, understood or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Next thing. Where is Anuj? Hello, Anuj. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next thing. Now I need to calculate velocity of image with respect to mirror perpendicular, which is equal to negative of velocity of object with respect to mirror perpendicular. Okay. Now this is nothing but velocity of image perpendicular minus velocity of mirror perpendicular. After that, minus velocity of object perpendicular minus velocity of minus plus velocity of image perpendicular. So what this becomes, velocity of image perpendicular is nothing but minus of velocity of object perpendicular plus twice of velocity of mirror perpendicular. Got it or not? Okay. So this becomes how much? Velocity of image perpendicular is nothing but what is velocity of object perpendicular? It is uh, 10 cos 60 degree, but it is along the I cap direction, correct? So minus of 10 cos 60 I cap plus of 2. What is velocity of mirror perpendicular? So it is 5 cos 30, but it is along the minus I cap. Yes or no? So it will be 2.
Sir, sir,
Tell me, Gagan.
sir,
Uh-huh.
sir. That is the velocity of image parallel. It is 5 by root 3 I cap, sir.
5.
J cap, J cap.
Yeah. Correct, Gagan. Yes. That's the biggest mistake I have done. Correct, Ganesh. Why? Because these are along the perpendicular. Yes, these are along the y-axis. So it will be j cap, not I cap. 5 root 3 j cap. Correct or not? Okay. So here it is I cap because we are taking on the x-axis. This is my x-axis. That is my y-axis. So 2 into here it will become. Okay. So here 2 into 5. Velocity of mirror is 5 cos 30. So cos 30 is how much? Root 3 by 2 I cap. Yes or no? But it will be minus of I cap. Okay. So this value becomes how much? Velocity of image perpendicular is nothing but 10 cos 60 is I think 10 by 2. That is minus 5 I cap. 2 here cancelled. And this is 5 root 3. So I can take minus of I cap common and I'll make it as 5 plus of 5 root 3. Yes or no? Is it correct or not? So velocity of image perpendicular is nothing but 5 plus 5 root 3 minus of 5 plus 5 root 3 I cap. Yes or no? Correct or not? Tell me. Anuj and Gagan? Yes or no?
Yes,
Guys.
sir.
Anuj? Yes or no? Got it?
Yes.
Yes. What is yes? Tell me perfectly yes or no. The voice should be loud perfectly. Okay. So I can write in terms of book language. So minus 5 common they have taken. 1 plus root 3 j cap. Okay. Now if we know velocity of I perpendicular, if I know velocity of I parallel, then what should be the answer? Gagan, that day you asked me one question, na? Sir, how can I take, let's suppose, today I have got that answer. One very, it is a question of J mains only. Let's suppose
Resolution.
if, if you have one vector A, another vector B, and they are making some kind of angle theta. What is the vector component of vector A along B? How to calculate? I'll show you after this. Okay. But first, try to go through this. So velocity of I perpendicular is minus of 5, 1 plus root 3 j cap. I have got. Okay. Now velocity I parallel I have got. Velocity I perpendicular I have got. Now what should be the condition? We know that velocity is nothing but this velocity will be what? Velocity of velocity perpendicular component. Yes or no? Plus velocity parallel component. This is the condition or not? Let's suppose if you write, let's suppose if you have x axis, if you have y-axis, so if you want, if you know the value along x-axis, if you know the vector along y-axis, so you know the resultant vr is nothing but v of x plus velocity of v of x plus v of y vector or not. Tell me yes or this is the relation or not? Gagan, Anush, yes or no? Are yes or no? Okay, so these are
Yes, sir.
perpendicular and parallel are according to the mirror. So resultant velocity will be velocity of image. Resultant velocity of image is nothing but velocity of image perpendicular plus velocity of image parallel. Perpendicular is what? It is equal to minus of 5 1 plus root 3 I cap plus 5 root 3 j cap. This is my velocity of image vector equation. Got it or not? Yes or no? Now, if you calculate, you can calculate the modulus of Vi. I think that will be root over. I think this is going to be equal to some that what you told. Okay, so it will be 5 1 plus root 3 whole square plus 5 root 3 square. Got it or not? Gagan Anuj, yes or no? Understood? Gagan Anuj, yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are two J advanced question. J advanced, this is asked in J one 2014 or 15, and this has been asked in 2020 itself. Okay. Now I'll give you two more problems, but before that, this question. What is the vector component of vector A along vector B? Okay. Now, what does the component means? Component means if I draw a perpendicular line over here,
Sir, A cos theta.
yeah. So here, this particular value, this particular length means from this point to this point. Okay, this particular length, which is modulus of vector A cos theta, this particular length is the component of vector A along the vector B or not. Tell me yes or no. This modulus of vector A. But try to understand this is a scalar value or not. I ask you what is the vector component along B. So to understand about that, first what I can write modulus of vector A cos theta as what? It should be written as vector A dot vector B divided by modulus of vector B or not. Tell me yes or no. If I can write the formula A dot B is equal to AB cos theta, where A cos theta modulus of vector A cos theta can be written as A dot B divided by vector B. But this A cos theta or this value, we know that these are scalar values. I'm asking what is the vector component. So to try, let's suppose I am calling that vector C is the vector component of vector A along vector B. But what should be the value of it? So this vector C should have magnitude and direction. Magnitude I have got, this is nothing but A dot B divided by modulus of B. Okay, or A cos theta. But what is the direction of vector C? Direction of vector C is itself the direction of vector B or not. What is the direction of vector B? It is nothing but B cap. So what will be the value of vector C? It will be A dot B divided by modulus of vector B into B cap. This is the vector component of vector A along the B. Got it or not? What is the vector component of A along B? It is A dot B by modulus of vector B into B cap. Understood or not, Gagan?
Yes, sir.
Understood now. So if you apply this formula, then what you observe, try to see, you have to take the direction also, then you have to take the magnitude also. But is it inversely proportional to 1 by vector B or not? Tell me yes or no, which is itself going to give you vector A. So that is why when you are taking the resultant, it should be when you are taking along the another direction, what is going to happen, like you will not get the perfect answer because you will get the vector itself. Try to understand what is vector B. Vector B is nothing but modulus of vector B into B cap. Okay, so I'm writing what I can write modulus of vector B. I can write modulus of vector B as B by B cap. Yes or no? So 1 by vector B will become what? So I can write it over here. A dot B into B cap. I can write vector B divided by modulus of vector B square. So what you observe that if I take the dot product, then I multiply with the vector itself. What I am observing is I am getting an vector B divided by modulus of vector B square. So when you are going to do all of these things, it is going to be very much complicated. So that is why instead of taking the component along one particular vector, what we do is instead of doing all of these things, what I will do is just one thing, that this is my vector. I will do, I know that this is A cos theta, this is A sin theta. Okay. Vector B is resolved over here. This will be the length of vector B. So along the horizontal component, total component is nothing but vector modulus of vector B plus modulus of vector A into cos theta. And this is my modulus of vector A sin theta. If someone asks you what is the net resultant, so net resultant will be nothing but root over modulus of vector B plus modulus of vector A cos theta whole square plus modulus of vector A sin theta whole square. I'll just apply this formula and I'll get the net resultant. Understood or not? So this is the trick which we follow because finding the vector component is very much complicated. Got it or not? Understood or not? Gagan?
Yes, sir.
Understood now, Anuj? So it is not. You said now, like I also said one thing that it is not possible. It is possible also, but it will be very much complicated. Okay, it is not possible. Means we can't say that we can't do it. We can do it easily, but it is very much impossible to do it. Okay, so that is why we didn't follow this. Okay, so vector component of vector A along vector B is nothing but A dot B by modulus of vector B into B cap. Okay, so this way you can calculate the vector component. Okay, now try to move to next question. Third, easy question, JEE Mains 2019. Options were also there, but try to think. Most people will do this wrong. So think two times before solving it. I'll drink water in that time. Do it. 2 minutes. And I know where you will do the mistake in this question. I know you guys. You will definitely do the mistake in this question.
What?
Hmm. Gagan got the answer or not? Rapchik.
Sir, 3.
Three. I told you, na? I told you
6 meter per second.
moment only
Sir,
that
sir, otherwise 6, sir.
six. I
Six
told
meter
you
per second.
again. I told you that definitely you are going to do the mistake in these questions.
6 meter नहीं होगा.
No six, no three. Answer is seven. See how. That is why I told that JEE mains is different thing. It is a basic question. We solved this kind of biggest question, but in this basic question, we missed one concept. You know what? You have to take the mirror's velocity as negative velocity because it is going towards minus of I cap and object as plus of I cap. That is the biggest mistake you guys did. Okay. So you know again relation velocity of image with respect to mirror is nothing but negative of velocity of object with respect to mirror. Okay. Now, velocity of image with respect to mirror, velocity of image minus velocity of mirror minus velocity of object plus velocity of mirror. Velocity of image is nothing but minus of velocity of object plus twice of velocity of mirror. Now, minus of velocity of object, it is towards I cap, so minus 5. This is plus 2 into velocity of mirror is towards opposite direction, that is negative. So it is velocity is since a vector quantity, so it will be minus of 1 meter per second. So answer is minus 7 meter per second. Minus 7 meter per second means what? Image is moving towards this side. This is my image which is moving with 7 meter per second. Got it or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Who's got it or not. So I know where you guys will do the mistake. Again, I'm telling you this silly points. Okay, this negative sign in ray optics. Remember that this negative sign is very important. Got it or not? You can change the whole physics. Okay, so this negative sign can change the whole physics in ray optics. Got it? Okay. Move to next question. Okay, I'll send this question in the group, word or not. You will have to solve by yourself this question. Also find the direction and all because this is based upon this bigger calculation, means this particular calculation. Okay, I didn't want to do it again. So you can solve this. I'll send this question in the group. Like in the figure, the plane mirror is moving with uniform speed again. Plane mirror's velocity is given. It is in only one direction, while object velocity is in two directions. So you resolve it. This is V of object with respect to mirror, and that is what it is perpendicular, while this is velocity of object with respect to mirror, that is parallel. Got it or not? You know both of these velocities. Okay. Now with respect to mirror, not sorry, let me raise this with respect to mirror thing. These are respective velocity of object. Okay, so velocity object perpendicular, this is velocity of object parallel, this is simple. Again, in case of parallel case, velocity of image with respect to mirror is equal to velocity of object with respect to mirror in the parallel case. Got it? But in the perpendicular case, what happens? Velocity of object with respect to mirror perpendicular. I should not write object first. Image with respect to mirror perpendicular is equal to minus of velocity of object with respect to mirror perpendicular. Got it or not? Yes or no? This parallel and perpendicular are with surface of mirror, not the normal, with surface of mirror. Gagan Anuj, understood or not? Tell me. Yes or no?
Sir, answer is 10 times of root 5 minus 1.
10 times of root 5 minus uh, question number 8. It is minus 30 I cap plus 10 J cap. Okay. It is also asking about the direction. Should I solve it? So again, here velocity of mirror.
Sir.
Perpendicular is given minus of pi.
Sir, I got, sir. Sir, I got, sir.
Tell me how much.
Same answer. Minus 30 I cap plus 10 J cap.
Got now. Minus 30 I cap
Yes,
plus
sir.
10 J cap. Okay. So it is correct. You apply this, like velocity of mirror perpendicular is given over here. Velocity of object perpendicular. Sorry. This is perpendicular. This is parallel. Okay. So both of these things are mentioned, and you can calculate it. Okay. So based upon this, this is see, this velocity of object is perpendicular to the surface. So this is velocity of object
Sir,
perpendicular.
I did it like this, sir. First, I measured it with respect to the mirror. Then I did it. I did with the observer. Then with respect to the observer, that
Okay.
P.
Yeah. That also you can do. Okay. So two things are there. In the plane moving with uniform speed, in the figure plane mirror is moving along the negative direction and the observer is moving with the velocity 10 meter per second. Okay, so observer is given over here. What is the velocity of image of a particle P moving with the velocity as shown in the figure? Okay, so there are two things over here. First, this particle is there. So this is velocity of object and observer is also moving over here. Okay, so this time, what should be the answer? Based upon what should be the condition again? So I can write the relative equations or not. Observer case will be only applicable in the perpendicular case. Okay, so because of observer, what we will see the different speed of the particle, got it or not? Okay, so based upon this you can solve it. So do I need to solve it, or Anuj you will try? Anuj, Gagan have got it. Okay, so you should try. If you do not able to understand it, then I'll solve. Okay. Okay, Gagan, you will send me your solution because I want to check this. How you have
Yes,
taken
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because this equation is simple. Means I'll write velocity of image minus velocity of mirror perpendicular velocity of object minus velocity of mirror perpendicular. But where this particle will be adjusted in this, I want to see that. Okay, somewhere it is adjusted with negative sign. I know. So therefore, you need to do it. Right or not? Okay. So I'll check it.
And for what we should do about the parallel?
What?
पैरेलल वेलोसिटी में क्या करें?
Parallel velocity? What parallel velocity?
अरे वो रिजॉल्व करेंगे तो होगा ना पैरेलल में, उसको क्या करेंगे?
तो जो रिजॉल्व होगा पैरेलल वैसा का वैसे ही रह जाएगा ना. दैट इज ये तुम्हारा सिंपल वैसे ही 10 जे कैप रह जाएगा. ठीक है, 10√2 इधर जब रिवॉल्व करोगे तो 10
तो
रूट.
समझ आएगा.
हाँ, तो पैरेलल वैसा का वैसा ही रह जाएगा, बट चेंज क्या चीज में होगा? परपेंडिकुलर में होगा, क्योंकि ऑब्जर्वर भी जो है वो परपेंडिकुलर वे में मूव कर रहा है. ठीक है, तो ऑब्जर्वर सिंस परपेंडिकुलर वे में मूव कर रहा है तो वो परपेंडिकुलर कंपोनेंट्स को अफेक्ट करेगा, वो पैरेलल कंपोनेंट्स को कभी अफेक्ट नहीं करने वाला है. ठीक है, तो मतलब यहाँ पे एक ऑब्जर्वर आएगा तुम्हारे पास, फर्स्ट थिंग. सेकंड थिंग, यहाँ पे इमेज भी आएगा, है ना. तो इमेज इस तरह से ड्रॉ हो जाएगा. इमेज का पैरेलल कंपोनेंट वही रह जाएगा 10√2/√2 जे कैप. ओके, बट जो ये जो कंपोनेंट है, ये जो तुम्हारे पास पैरेलल कंपोनेंट आ रहा है पार्टिकल का, वो तुम्हारे पास चेंज हो जाएगा. समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? तो वो तुम्हें देखना है कि क्या आंसर होना चाहिए. ठीक है, तो वो बताओगे तुम सॉल्व करके, है ना. गॉट इट और नॉट गगन? यस.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if you ask me, that is simple now. Velocity of image minus velocity of mirror with respect to perpendicular case. Here with respect to object, see first this object is visible to, first it will form the image on the mirror, then from the mirror we'll get the concept of observer. So this is not complete. So object, since I have to consider over here, I can write this as what is the relative speed. So velocity of particle with respect to observer, velocity of image of the particle with respect to observer will be what I can write it as velocity of first mirror with respect to observer plus velocity of particle with respect to mirror. Got it or not? So this relation will come. That is why this is going to change over here. If you write this, then you will get the answer. Solve it. Solve it. Simple relative velocity equation. Okay. I want to see. Okay. Now, reflection through a spherical surfaces. Okay. Means till now we have discussed all the plane mirror cases and all. We have tried all of this relative velocity and all. Okay. Now we are going to basically talk about what is going to happen with the spherical surfaces. Now, most important point is that first thing, how to draw normal of a spherical surface. I have taught this. Again, I am going to tell it about it. Simple. Okay. How to draw the normal of a spherical surface. So what you have to do? First, let us take the spherical surface. Now, if I want to draw the normal at this particular point, at this point P, so what I'll have to do? I'll have to draw the tangent. Okay. And on this tangent, if I draw the perpendicular, if I draw the perpendicular passing through this tangent, wait, if I'm correct like this way, little bit it is approximated, then this particular perpendicular to the tangent will be called as normal. First important conception. Okay. Then second important point is like what are the different how the spherical surfaces are created. So spherical surfaces are created. First, let's suppose I will take the sphere, then I'll cut it into half. Okay. Then out of this half, I'll polish either from inside or from outside. Now, this polishing is done to a certain approximated length. This approximated length is taken in such a way, try to understand, such that, let's suppose this is my point P and this is my point Q. So if I draw the tangents at point P and if I draw the tangents at point Q, they should make 90 degree with respect to each other. First important point. Second point, the normals of these two tangents of point P and Q should definitely meet at the center. Then only this will be a perfect spherical surface, and the length by which it will be polished means the length occupied between these tangents for such that their normals are passing through the center of curvature or center of the sphere. This particular length which is embedded between these two tangents is called as curvature. So what is curvature and normal? Normal, how to draw the for the spherical surface? Take the point, draw the tangent, draw the perpendicular. It is normal. What is called as curvature? So if you see everywhere in the books, there is no concept of mentioning the word curvature. What do we mean by curvature? Radius of curvature is mentioned. Center of curvature is mentioned. But what is this curvature? This curvature is nothing but the length embedded between two perpendicular tangents for which the normals are intersecting at such a point which is called as center of curvature. Understood or not? Tell me. Gagan, Anus, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Now, so why this concept? First important point is like why this concept of curvature came into the why we consider this. The reason is one thing, like let's suppose if I take any kind of curve, okay, means what does scientists thought? What was the thinking of the scientists that they can't create whole big spherical mirror all the times, and they will break into smaller parts, and then they will take the smaller part, then they will polish it, and then they will utilize it for mirror. So this is going to become very much cost like it will be very much cost like it will be very much hard to do. Okay, means it will be not cost effective. So to make it cost effective, they went for another solution. So this was, I think, I have forgotten the name. So what he found that for every kind of curve, okay, for every kind of curve, when he was taking the ends of that point, means if we was taking the ends of those curve, let's suppose point P1 and P2, and if he was drawing the tangents, if these tangents would have been perpendicular, like they would have been making 90 degree, what he observed that the normals of these two right angular tangents are intersecting at point, and what he used to observe that using this length means from the intersection of the normal to the point P, if he takes this length of the normal and if it rotates with the similar length, he was getting a perfect circle over here. What he was getting? A perfect circle. So without the use of anything, without the use of doing whole circle, without the use of concept of radius, he created one circle out of just tangents and normals. So that is why we call this length with this particular length. This is a special kind of length. For every case, the tangents will be not forming 90 degree. So at this particular case means which is approximately similar to half semicircle, similar to half semicircle. he was getting this kind of property. Now, for that kind of property, for all of those kind of properties, what he observed, that I'm going to call this as this length as curvature, because this is going to give me a full circle out of it. Understood or not? Tell me. So the meaning of curvature came from this kind of things. Okay. Understood? Gagan, Anus? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Anuj, got it or not? So now I can polish this curvature, or this curvature, this particular length. Like out of this curvature, if I polish some kind of this much amount of length, I call this as aperture. Got it or not? Okay. I can polish this from inside. I can polish this from outside. If I polish this from inside, I call this as concave mirror. If I polish this from outside, I call it as convex mirror. So if I polish it from inside, I am going to call it as concave. If I polish it from like if I polish it from outside, it is concave. If I polish it from inside, then it is a what kind of mirror? Convex mirror. Okay. Now for this concave and convex, we have different kinds of image formation. Just your one work of class 10 I want you to do. Just go through the different kind of image formations of this concave and convex mirror like this way. Although I'm going to discuss this, but I'm going to discuss in a different way. Okay. So that I can draw the diagram like this way. Got it or not? So all of your this kind of things I have made the particular try to understand. I made all of these whole series. Okay. So all of these series are have been made. Okay. So I have made your whole means try to understand. I have made all of these lecture slides. Okay. So if you go and study, I'll be able to complete it very much fast. Understood or not? Gagan Anus? Okay. So these things are not available in any kind of book. Try to see that somewhere I'm using Senge, somewhere I'm using Sasi Bhushan Tiwari, somewhere I'm using some kind of DC Funday, somewhere I'm using some kind of different books. I'm collecting all the data from 6 different books. So you'll not have to study any of the book if you follow my lectures perfectly. Understood or not? Gagan, Anus? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Anus, okay? So you have to solve this problem. Go and solve it and come by tomorrow. Okay. So तब तक के लिए bye bye, good night. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow is Saturday now. So morning 7 a.m. class. Not 7 a.m. I'll not be wake up at 7 a.m. So tomorrow is a holiday for me. So tomorrow, which time? 12. Gagan knows 12 is good or not? 12 a.m.
Sir, 12, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
Uh-huh. Not
sir,
12.
no
don't want it 12, sir.
problem.
10 a.m. 9 or 10 a.m. Gagan, that is perfect.
Sir, 9 or sir 9 a.m. sir.
9 a.m. Okay. So 9 a.m. perfect. Okay. Solve this problem
Yes, sir.
with respect to observer. I'll check it. Okay, Gagan, you have sent me. I'll just check it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bye bye. Good night. Take care. Okay.